You keep trying to find a sense of inner calm, a perfect peace, but the more you reach for it, the more exhausted you feel, as if something precious is always slipping through your fingers. There's a reason for that feeling. For centuries, we've painted enlightenment as this effortless, blissful state, but the Buddha himself, the one who walked that path, knew a deeper, far more difficult truth about it. He faced a profound, almost paralyzing choice right after his awakening, a moment that reveals the true, unsettling price of seeing reality as it is. We all have moments like this, where our ideals clash with harsh reality, leaving us tired and confused. What's one area of your life right now where you feel this exact tension, where the pursuit of something good is leaving you feeling unexpectedly drained? Share your thoughts below, even if it's just a few words. Your experience helps someone else feel a little less alone. Imagine, if you will, a young man, Siddhartha, who has spent years in the wilderness seeking answers. He abandoned a kingdom, a family, a life of luxury, all to unravel the knot of human suffering. He pushed his body to its limits, meditated in extreme discomfort, studied with masters. He tried everything. And then, finally, under the shade of a great fig tree, after a night of profound struggle, something shifted. He awakened. He saw things as they truly are. This wasn't a fleeting moment. It was a complete, irreversible understanding. He had pierced through the veil of illusion, extinguished craving, and experienced a peace so profound it defies words. We call this state nirvana. It's often translated as extinguishing, like a flame going out. But it's not an emptiness. It's the end of agitation, the cessation of suffering. For 7 days, he sat under that Bodhi tree, savoring this liberation. Then for another week, he stood gazing at the tree, a silent gesture of gratitude. He spent weeks more in meditation, moving from tree to tree, fully immersed in this newfound freedom. The world, the universe, was perfectly clear to him. Every cause, every effect, every subtle nuance of existence laid bare. You might picture him then, immediately rising, a radiant smile on his face, ready to declare his magnificent discovery to the world. A triumphant hero, sharing his perfect wisdom effortlessly. This is often the story we tell ourselves about profound breakthroughs, isn't it? That once you get it, everything becomes easy, joy unending. But that's not what happened. After these weeks of intense, solitary contemplation, the Buddha felt something else, not just bliss. He felt a profound sense of weariness, a deep, unsettling burden. He looked out at the world, at all the beings tangled in their desires, blinded by ignorance, suffering endlessly. He saw their attachment to things that could never truly satisfy them, and he hesitated. He thought to himself, what I have discovered is deep, hard to see, hard to understand. It is tranquil and sublime, beyond the sphere of reasoning, subtle, to be experienced by the wise. But this generation delights in attachment, is thrilled by attachment, rejoices in attachment. It's an overwhelming thought, isn't it? To possess the answer to all suffering, to see the path to true freedom, and then to look at the world and feel that very few, if any, could possibly grasp it. This was the first unsettling cost. The burden of clarity, the understanding that others might not want the truth, or simply couldn't bear it even if it meant their liberation. He considered simply remaining in silent, personal liberation, retreating into his own peace. He thought about not teaching at all. Think about that for a moment. The enlightened one, the fully awakened Buddha, was on the verge of keeping his wisdom entirely to himself, because the weight of that truth, the difficulty of its transmission, seemed too great. This isn't the narrative of effortless joy we're usually told. It's the story of a person, albeit an extraordinary one, wrestling with the immense responsibility that comes with profound insight. You've felt this too, haven't you? That moment when you've understood something deeply, something important, but the idea of explaining it, sharing it, making others see it feels like an impossible task. He saw how deeply people clung to their cravings, to their illusions of self, to the transient pleasures of the world. How could he possibly communicate a path that asked them to let go of everything they thought was real, everything they thought brought them happiness? It felt like trying to teach a fish to fly, but then, the story goes, a powerful deity, Brahma Sahampati, appeared before him. Brahma, seeing the Buddha's hesitation, pleaded with him. He said there are beings with little dust in their eyes, who are wasting away through not hearing the teaching. They will understand. This was a pivotal moment. The Buddha surveyed the world again, this time with a divine eye that could discern the spiritual ripeness of beings. He saw that yes, there were some who were ready, some who were capable of understanding, even if they were few. And in that moment, he made a choice not of ease, but of immense compassion and arduous effort. He chose to teach. This wasn't a choice for personal comfort. It was a choice for connection, for deep, selfless service. And it opened him up to all the challenges, the misunderstandings, the criticisms, the physical tolls of a wandering life. The Buddha knew that teaching the Dharma, the path to liberation, would mean engaging with suffering, day in and day out, not escaping it. This is where the idea of perfect bliss gets complicated. Enlightenment, for the Buddha, wasn't a retreat from the world into an ivory tower of serene detachment. It was an awakening to the world in all its messy, suffering reality, and then choosing to engage with it, to alleviate it, even when it cost him his personal quietude. So, what does this ancient story, this moment of profound hesitation and eventual commitment, mean for you right now? Perhaps you've achieved a personal goal, a career milestone, a fitness target, even a deeper understanding of yourself. And instead of the sustained euphoria you expected, you find yourself facing new challenges, new responsibilities, a new layer of complexity. The bliss was fleeting, and the cost of maintaining or building on that achievement feels surprisingly heavy. You might feel the weight of a truth you've discovered, a difficult reality you now see clearly within your family or your workplace that others refuse to acknowledge. You see the problem, you see the way forward, but the thought of trying to make others see it, of facing their resistance or denial, feels utterly exhausting. Like the Buddha, you might be tempted to simply keep that truth to yourself. Or maybe you've been chasing an ideal of happiness that looks like constant positivity, an absence of any negative feeling. You push away sadness, frustration, even anger, believing true peace means only good vibes. But this story shows us that profound wisdom includes the courage to lean into difficult truths, to bear the weight of reality, and to act from compassion even when it's uncomfortable. The true cost of genuine peace isn't avoiding discomfort, it's learning to engage with it skillfully. It means understanding that the path to liberation isn't always smooth. It's not about skipping over the hard parts, but moving through them with a clarity born of deep awareness. The Buddha's initial hesitation wasn't a weakness. It was a testament to the magnitude of what he had achieved and the sheer effort it would take to share it. He chose the harder path, not for himself, but for others. This willingness to embrace the unsettling cost is what truly transforms. It's what transforms mere personal peace into active, engaged compassion. It's how you move from merely understanding a truth to truly living it and allowing it to touch the world around you. It means, sometimes, being the one who gently, but firmly, points out the thread unraveling in a tapestry that everyone else pretends is perfectly woven. You see the pattern of denial, the silent suffering or the quiet injustice that has become so normal it's invisible. And you understand that true compassion isn't always about comfort. Sometimes it's about disrupting a comfortable illusion, even when that disruption makes you unpopular or forces others to confront what they'd rather ignore. What I've seen in my own life, time and again, is that the deepest truths often feel like they're trying to pry open your eyes to something you almost wish you hadn't seen. Imagine a stream, flowing smoothly for years, but gradually, unnoticed, a dam of debris starts to form. Everyone steps over it, goes around it, complains about the slowing water, but no one really sees the dam itself. The enlightened perspective, the one born from truly living a truth, is to see that dam, to understand why it's there, and to then perhaps be the one to start clearing it. It won't be easy. The current will fight you. The accumulated grime will resist, and some might even resent you for disturbing the peace of the stagnant water they've grown accustomed to. They might prefer the illusion of flow to the hard work of real clearing. This is not some grand, heroic act on a global stage. This is the quiet work of living differently. This isn't about becoming a crusader or taking on the world's burdens. It's far more subtle than that. It's about the small daily choices to live with integrity, to speak your truth with kindness, even when it's inconvenient. It's the moment you choose clarity over complicity, honesty over false harmony. You might find yourself saying no when everyone expects yes, not out of anger, but from a quiet understanding of your own boundaries and values. I've often felt the pull to just go along, to keep the peace at any cost, but then the cost, internally, becomes too great. You might choose to offer a difficult piece of feedback not to hurt, but because you genuinely see how it could help someone grow. The cost here is often emotional. It's the weight of carrying a clearer vision, knowing what could be, and sometimes feeling the friction of what is. It's the quiet courage required to stand slightly apart, not because you're superior, but because your path has shown you a different way. You don't need to preach, you just need to embody. And in that embodiment, in that lived example, you offer a different possibility to those around you. You create ripples, not by shouting, but by the quiet, unwavering presence of someone who has wrestled with difficult truths and emerged with a deeper, more resilient peace. This peace isn't fragile, it's forged in the fires of understanding reality, not in the comfort of illusion. It's the kind of peace that can withstand the storms because it knows what lies beneath the surface. It's a peace that acknowledges the unsettling, embraces it even, and still finds a way forward. That, to me, is the true legacy of the Buddha's choice. Not just personal liberation, but the quiet, persistent offering of it to a world that often struggles to see its own chains. It's a profound kind of peace we can cultivate, one hard truth at a time. Remember, true peace isn't the absence of struggle, but the presence of compassion in the midst of it. What's one small, uncomfortable truth you're willing to acknowledge today that might just open the door to a deeper, more genuine peace?